Alrighty, welcome back, piglets, to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. We are your hosts, Daniel, Sam, and Taylor B. Today, we're missing Sunny and we're missing DJ. Hopefully, they'll be able to join us next episode. Moving right along, getting right into it. Let's start off with a huge congratulations to Tyler Perry. He's basically started Tyler Perry Studios, and in an old, what was it, Sam? It's
an old plantation.
An old plantation in Atlanta, and its acreage is bigger than Warner Brothers, Disney, and Paramount Studios combined. It's a massive property. It's owned by one single person, Tyler Perry. A lot of the studios that are on the lot are named after other professional and famous individuals that inspired him. I think he has a Denzel studio, an Oprah studio, stuff like that. Like really famous, influential Black people, it seems like, for the most part. Congratulations to him. I'm not a fan of his movies, but this is a huge win. For people of color.
I knew you were gonna say that, but some other movies have been written and made in those studios, right? Like Black Panther, part of that was made there. Like they already have blockbuster movies that have been written and made there. Oh, and that's because he gives them their workspace, allow them, it's a historic site, and they're all there in Black excellence.
Absolutely.
He did episodes of Love and Hip Hop there too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like we were like so high, and then the roller coaster just dipped.
Black people got to find a way, man. We got to find a way. But seriously though, in all seriousness, whether I'm a fan of him or not, and I would say I like him as a person. He's cool, but congratulations, huge win, huge W, huge everything. Chase that bag. Get your money, black man, like Childish Gambino said, another Atlanta native. We'll get into that later, about some Atlanta stuff. But
way to bury the lead, damn it.
Moving on from there, though, we got some movie news for you guys. As you guys pretty much all know, Joker is out. It's a critically acclaimed film already, it seems like, even though it hasn't even been out a week yet, maybe like a couple days. I don't know. This is the first weekend, right? Yeah, so it's only been out for like 3 or 4 days. Before we get right into the movie, I just want to point out that somebody else played Joker just a couple years ago. He made an appearance in Suicide Squad, talking about none other than Jared Leto. He's a member of what band, Sam?
30 Seconds to Mars. You didn't know that shit?
I don't remember the band name, but I mean,
I didn't even know that was a band.
Shame on both of you.
I just remember Sonny liked that video where he kisses himself.
God, it's like you guys never dated white girls or anything.
Oh my God. But he played the Joker, and he feels quite a way about Joaquin Phoenix being the Joker, the face of the Joker film, and the actor that they decided to go with, for Todd Phillips' film. He feels alienated and upset about the whole thing. Me personally, I wasn't really a fan of his version of Joker. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I'm just gonna give him the benefit that he was in a movie for a total of 5 minutes. They cut a lot of his parts out, and he was a secondary character to a secondary character, if that makes sense. Like, Harley Quinn wasn't the star of Joker. That was Will Smith's Deadshot. She was
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Suicide Squad. She wasn't the star of Suicide Squad. She was a lead actress in it, but she wasn't the one it was built around. The Joker scenes, they could have cut all of it, and it still would have been the same movie.
Absolutely.
It was something they threw in at the end to give you a little, here you go. And like they said, it's been reported, they cut a lot of his scenes out. They did a lot to just rush it in there.
Is Suicide Squad one of those films where like you get the extended edition and it looks way better?
I don't know.
Because they say Justice League is like way better with the extended version. Same thing for like Batman vs. Superman. The extended edition is way better. I don't know. I haven't seen none of those extended versions. I've just seen the regular versions. And they didn't hold a candle.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, the director's cut is always the best cut. You just don't... It's like when you go watch Lord of the Rings. You're not just going to put on the original trilogy. No, you're going to put on the director's cut. So you can see
facts, but I fuck with Lord of the Rings.
I watch the commentary where the dude's in the background. See, here in this scene, this is like how we like to cut it. I'm all into the information like that.
I am too. I love that shit. But, sure. If he says they cut a lot of his shit out, of course, fans were angry because you got 5 minutes of a gangster Joker that you don't have a story for or really doing anything except for beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, that's why for the 5 minutes he was in the movie, I actually enjoyed seeing that Joker. I was like, oh, finally, we're going to see the Joker be a boss this time. You know? We're going to finally see Joker be like that street king that you would imagine he would be if he's going to go
That's been portrayed before, though, and pretty damn good.
Well, I know with
Not
Heath.
not by live action, but like by cartoon, which was it was cool. He was like it fucking seemed like a damn mob boss almost, you know.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's what
more
it's supposed to be.
But
yeah,
I know, but
that's
even
more so
even
where I thought it was gonna go, not like not the version of gangster that Jared Leto was playing.
But even after the way Heath did it, I thought for sure like nobody can ever, reimagine Joker after that. I thought it was pretty much set in stone. That's going to be the final Joker, and then we get this new Joker, and then we had Jared Leto's Joker. As soon as I saw that Joker, I was just like, I want him. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of his story. I want to see him running the streets because he reminds me of that like the young viral dude that comes through and. That like this is the one guy like that can actually beat Batman. It was in
Like he
my
was
opinion.
live.
Yeah, like that. Like this dude is lit. That's the one I wanted to see. So actually, from what I've heard from this new movie with Joker, he did a great job as well. But personally, I would love to see the Jared Leto one be more extended.
I think Jared Leto, to me, he's a good actor. He's won Oscars before. He's a really good actor when you're giving him the chance. I think any actor can bomb a role, especially if you don't get to see everything they've been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, the 5-minute cuts he's in, what are they? It's him at the club, somebody disrespects Harley, quote unquote, and
Wasn't that common?
he beats the shit out of the guy. Or they're driving away in the car and doing shit like that. You don't get to see him bring anything out. So yeah, I would be
I
mad.
would say the one point that you get to bring that you kind of see it is when it kind of gives Harley Quinn's backstory of like her turning into like Harley Quinn or whatever, and then the part with like him and I think they were knives. He had all the knives laid out or whatever, and you just kind of he had like a hint of random madness. It seemed like not that it was his fault, but it's more like that's what the director wanted to go with this. And I feel like more than anything, it's not necessarily Jared Leto playing the Joker specifically is bad, but since this is his version of the Joker, then it's like it was alright, but I wasn't really feeling it like that. Like I would see it again. Like I would see it like in a future movie if they had to bring him back and all that. I'd watch future movies with him in it, but like specifically that version of Joker was not really doing it for me though.
I mean, that version of Deadshot, even in the movie, didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, the movie wasn't great all around, but
like everyone that says it, oh, you want to protect his daughter. I was like, no. The one that I know that I grew up watching, Batman could have had his daughter, and he would have took that fucking shot.
Yeah, probably.
He knows Batman is not gonna do shit. Secondly, he's not gonna miss.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That whole movie to me could have been trashed and would have been fine.
I mean, absolutely. I totally agree with that. But moving on to the actual, topic of discussion, Joker, the new film. What did you think about that, Sam? I mean, I thought it was good for the most part.
Well, I went in and I read the articles. People were talking about walking out or whatever because of the violence and everything. So I got excited. I was like, yeah, here we go. Giving Joker a backstory. And I started watching it. And I'm like, at what point are people supposed to be walking out of this shit? This just looks like a origin story to me.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a part that I did walk out in, but I wanted to go wash my hands. That was my excuse to leave, though. Wow. I had to go back inside because I was with friends. But I mean, I'm gonna tell you the one scene when he goes to the estate and he has his hands around a certain butler's neck.
Oh yeah,
that bugged the fuck out of me. Just because if you know anything about Alfred, you know the types of things he's capable of.
Yeah,
that like, oh my goodness, that made my skin crawl.
Well, my thing was if. The only time I could maybe see someone walking out of the movie is if they thought it was too slow. But you also got to think about who the Joker is and who's playing him. It's Joaquin Phoenix, and he's like a really great actor. I already knew this was going to be like a character expose. Reading the articles, I knew we were going to walk in and we are going to see how he develops or why he is the way he is. People were trying, oh, they're making excuses for active shooters or school shooters and shit like this and blah, blah, blah. And in a sense, all they're doing is doing the same thing how our society reflects on stuff like this. We have someone who's mentally unstable in an unstable environment. The bottom feeder of society gets a piece of power, does his acts. Society tells him, pretty much it's okay and goes on to do even more.
Yeah.
To me, there's 4 or 5 black black characters. 4.
Was that not like weird to you? Me and my buddy noticed that, and I was just like, am I tripping, or is this like every female in here is black except his mom?
Sonny said the same thing, and me and Sonny were talking about it last night, and I was like, but in our society, if you look at it, like look in the case of Roy Moore in Alabama, and it came out that he was trying to have relationships with 16-year-old girls. You know, dude's a pedophile. And it took 99% of black women voters, 95% of black male voters to like not put him in the Senate, because otherwise he had 70 to 80% of all white voters saying yes. In our society, on an outward perspective, it's always black people telling it's not okay, or having to be cautious around things.
Yeah.
Or pointing out the people who made sense in the story. One of his psychologists was actually trying to help, but through his eyes, he just saw it as a negative.
Yeah.
You're not listening to me. But she's actually caring. This is your first time bringing your book. People in society don't give a shit about you, and they don't give a shit about people like us. I'm not going to give you
a powerful line.
Yeah. I see that this guy's not mentally well and his mom and her boyfriend abused him. I'm not going to give him the book, the piece of paper that says exactly what they did, because he might take this out of control. The girlfriend, the lady on the bus, noticing that there's this weird guy, you know, even though he's playing with a kid, this is a weird guy, weird stranger, and I don't need him playing with my kid.
I thought that was kind of fucked up, though. That was kind of fucked up.
Look at it this way. Let's say you're on a bus, right?
Yeah.
And and your kid's bored or whatever and someone starts playing with your kid that you don't know. And then he starts to get this creepy laugh. Like,
I mean, overall, like that, that was kind of like part of the meat and potatoes of the whole story. Like, I feel like this movie was such a vastly different take on the character, as far as the portrayal, just because of like, okay, like, let me take you back really quick to one of the first things that was said when like the whole controversy of it all came out, whatever, where, you know, this movie isn't intended to like make you empathize with the villain or like, you know, killers or anything like that. And it's like literally the first scene of the movie makes you do that. The first scene of the movie makes you empathize, or at least feel like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. This is no wonder this guy's about to start going on this fucking warpath, you know? And then after that, in this version of it, at least this iteration, it's not only that he's mentally ill, whatever, fine, I get all that. Like, there's a lot of people like that, but he's having these dark thoughts, like he said it to the lady, and he has a literal disease that makes him laugh, a literal disease. And when I saw that, I was just like, how can I can't put like a sinister tone to that anymore, you know? Like, thinking of it as like a literal neurological problem, I can't sit here and be like, oh, like there goes that like famous Joker laugh or whatever. I'm just like, bro, like this guy got a disease. He laughing and he's not even trying to.
Well, look at it this way. He had issues, right? You can sympathize with the person while acknowledging the wrong that they're doing.
Absolutely.
So we know he's capable of doing mass evil as a character anyways, because he's the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Like, if you walked in and didn't know what you were walking into, that's on you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So in the movie, it makes you emphasize with him in the beginning, you know, his first killings were the dudes on the subway. He was getting, you know, they were beating his ass. They might have beaten him till he's dead. And
why was that nigga a sharpshooter?
Well, it's also it's a pistol. He was wide range. If he would have missed at that range, he would have been a terrible shot. Or
the first shot was a headshot, my boy. Then he dumped like 2 or 3 rounds to the next dude.
You can shoot someone in the head from 5 meters without aim.
Dude, sure, but a person that's never used a gun before in their entire life, you think that's really going to happen? Realistically, Sam?
Oh,
it happens, but do you really think it's going to happen?
My first time shooting, I hit all my shots
on a target that's not moving, and you weren't getting jumped either. Right.
Yeah. Well, no, I had the pop-up targets.
Oh, okay.
Were you under distress though, or
I got smoked like 30 seconds before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because that man was getting stomped out by 3 dudes, and then just pulled it out and was like bang, and I was just like, all right, that's the first guy.
Do you know why?
Missed none of the shots on the next guy. Shot? Why?
I missed my first shot literally because I forgot to take my gun off safety.
Wow.
Only reason. I was like so much.
If you would have had a revolver, you'd have been all right.
If I had a revolver, I would have been all right. But I was under so much anxiety and stress. I was like, I pulled it and I was like, fuck. But
don't stand next to Sam in a battle. Let me write that down.
Oh no, I shoot like excellent.
Sam's a good shot. Sam's definitely a good shot.
It was just that one rookie fucking dumbass mistake. But it's the first 3 people he killed were in self-defense. So it makes you feel like, okay, he just defended himself. But after that, you're like, oh no, I can't defend that shit. You're way off the line. This was to show you how society treats people who are mentally ill and each other. Because his psychiatrist said they're cutting our funding, and he said, "How am I supposed to get my medication?" And that's
she
when
had no answers.
She had no answers. So you have someone who's extremely mentally ill, raised by someone who's mentally ill and abusive without medication. And that's when we really start seeing the delusions and him progressing into the Joker. But like I said to Sonny, you got to look at the three pieces of the puzzle. You have the bottom feeders of society, of Gotham, the Gotham society. You have people that are in the hood, in that dark place. Then you have the mid-class people. And then you have the Waynes. Remember, Joker was...
That's pretty much how that works.
Yeah. So Joker was in his face paint, killed the three guys. And it skipped mid-class. We're talking about all the problems that society's facing while ignoring the lower class citizens. And then you have the higher class citizens say that everybody is a clown, or insinuate that everyone's a clown.
Hashtag this is America.
Hashtag this is America. And what do we see? What happens to the low-class citizens? Not only are the higher-class citizens not paying attention, but the mid-class citizens are making fun of them, beating on them, and trashing them, because that's what happens. We have a shooter, and then we hear their story, and it's the mid-class citizens are trashing him while the upper class are sitting comfortable, relaxing, and his mom is saying that he was such a sweet young boy, and she was babying him the whole time.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens in Joker. All while you have other members of that lower class society, you have minorities that are like, this just affects me too, but hey, why aren't we talking about that? I'm going to keep pushing. The whole time, the lower class citizens were like, the minority women were like, yeah, you got problems, but you got to work through this shit.
Yeah.
They recognized him, but it wasn't good enough for him.
Facts.
This movie has so many turning points and ways you can look at it and see and point things out. And people don't like it because, it portrays someone who's mentally ill as a shooter or violent, and it's not good for mentally ill people, or it takes you to a dark place.
I like what he wrote on that paper that said, like, the hardest thing about mental illness, and then at the bottom he wrote in like super big letters, is like, people expect you to act like you don't, and it's just like that was so powerful. Like that's true. Like, people with mental illness are expected to act like they don't have that. Act normal, take your meds to be normal, to calm down and chill or whatever. Whether it's like an autistic person, someone with like a serious mental disorder, even like Down syndrome, whatever it is, you want all those people to act and be as normal as possible, versus like kind of like, I don't know if the word I'm looking for is like take pride in it, but just like, be themselves overall, like this is who they are, this is what they have, this is what they have to work with. So they should be able to live that way, or be able to like kind of bask in that, like he has messed up thoughts, like help him out, like talk to him, figure out the fuck's going on, like understand his background, understand his lifestyle, understand what is causing the root of his pain. But
it's like I say, Black community, we ignore mental illness. And I was talking to Tony about that last night. I was like, but we don't ignore all mental illness. If you're functional, do what you need to do. I ain't going to make excuses if you can function in society like a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you can take the trash out, nobody really cares. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part. Like, where's he at? He in the back room, playing on his PlayStation. We just leave him alone. Food time, whatever. Not really. Don't believe we actually do that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, but when there's an actual problem, we take notice and we don't pretend and we don't make excuses. I don't know how other ethnic groups handle those situations, but at least for Black people, I can say that's the truth. Usually when one of us fuck up, he fucked up. We ain't finna protect you.
I mean, I feel like the Black community kind of like, I want to say it's like an example of ignoring it and then not ignoring it at the same time would just be like street violence. It's like, how many, Black and brown kids do you think have PTSD from like their brothers and sisters passing away, or like their friends or family, getting killed, or even like gangbangers themselves that have to like commit whatever they, I got to ride for mine, or I got to, take revenge. And it's like all that stuff leads to PTSD. And it's like, you're not normal. It's like killing somebody is not normal. That does something to your mind, but it's like, it's something that's like, when it happens to people, like somebody dies or whatever, and it's like, you get consoled, you get like, you hug it out or whatever, like, and then like for a lot of times for like gangbangers, it's like, all right, like hug it out, but like, we got to go ride for him now, like we got to get revenge, right? Because that's what your brother would have wanted, or, like, no, we're not just going to let him go down. without a fight or whatever, shit like that. So it's kind of fucked up, but
think of it like a fight. That's all it is a fight. You're finding your own brain, you're finding your own community. Who do you have to tell? If I see something fucked up and it's bothering me, there's just such a stigma about it. Even in like the military, there's a stigma. We always say, hey, you can always lean on me, or if you're facing something, I'm there for you. But are you really?
Yeah.
Like, because you go on. Yeah, you go on any vet page with memes and they make fun of people with PTSD or issues. I don't feel like you're gonna like talk to me and not talk shit behind my back. Damn, he got problems. Hey, you know that he crazy, shit like that. Or, people still don't believe PTSD is a real thing, or they think it's just solely for people with military. PTSD is for any traumatic event ever. You could ride in a car, get in an accident, and suffer from PTSD when you're driving at night. It's a thing.
For sure. I want to also point out real quick, because we're kind of like getting a little bit long-winded with this topic. I also wanted to point out real quick, I love that they portrayed the fact that Joker is not a very big or powerful person, but goddamn, that kid can take a hit.
Oh, yeah.
That dude got hit by...
I mean, if you kept getting hit and hit and hit, you're going to get up at some point. But damn, that scene towards the end...
I was like, no wonder Batman can't just punch his lights out. No wonder.
I was like, I don't know, it's because he's crazy, and to kill crazy, you got to put a bullet through the eyes. But God damn, you know what part hit me? Like, made me go, ooh, when he at the end and he's laughing in a chair, and psychologist asked him about the joke, and he said, "You wouldn't get it." And they flashed the scene of Bruce.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
Final question about the film, and before we move on to the next topic, you think it all was real or it was all fake?
I think everything we saw is up to interpretation, because it's the Joker. He doesn't even know his own backstory, and he said multiple times he doesn't know who he really is. I like the part.
That's a great take.
Yeah, I like the part how in the file it said "no name child," and him being adopted. So he really doesn't know his story up to that point. But I will say, me and Sonny been talking about it constantly. After the part where he's no longer take his medication, and I've heard a lot of people say, when I'm not taking my medication, I feel like myself.
Yeah.
Even me, whenever I take my Adderall, I don't feel like how I normally felt. I feel a lot more calm and relaxed, and like, fuck it, there ain't shit that can bother me today. And I could focus.
Yeah.
But I don't feel my same self that'll be running around the house doing like 1,000 things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember Cat Williams was talking about that with his son.
Yeah.
How his son was always running around. As soon as they gave him those pills, he was just stuck on the floor all the time.
Exactly. They alter your brain chemicals. They make you someone that you're not. So I think after the part where he stopped taking his drugs, we weren't seeing it from an outward perspective. Like, we weren't watching from a third person perspective. We were watching the events unfold as they were unfolding in his mind. That's why his whole fucked up dance sequence and steps or whatever, and then you could turn to this really nice movements, fluidity, and more self-assured and articulate.
Confidence and all that, yeah.
It's because we were watching it from his outward perspective of how he now perceives himself.
Yeah.
Now, without my medication, I feel more in my body, so I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more smooth, this, that, and the other. So I'm thinking we're seeing it through his mind now.
For sure. Speaking of black women, Serena Williams' pastime, she lost to what's her name again? Take that one away, because I'm not really familiar with this story like that.
About Naomi Osaka.
Exactly.
So
tried a little segue right there. Didn't work out very well, but go ahead.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, because I know you know this too. Last year, she beat Serena in the Grand Slam, right?
Yes, it was one of the Grand Slam finals where because Serena had pretty much ran away with everything.
Yeah.
And then to this last, I think it was the last one to complete her slam, her career Grand Slam in 1 year, to win all the majors in 1 year. She got beat by Osaka.
Yeah, which Serena has not been able to break this record for the last 7 times. But yeah, she just one short, can never complete it. But Naomi Osaka, Serena did something and tried to play the race card, pretty much. And we're complaining about the judges, Naomi, blah, blah, blah. And it caused a lot of controversy because a lot of black people were like, yeah, she's Japanese. But Naomi's like, my dad's Haitian, my mom's Japanese. I'm just as much of a black woman as anybody else that's black. Which, if you're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the time, there was a lot of argument of whether if you're half black or a quarter black, are you really black? And I'm like, well,
should people still say that I'm not black
yeah,
because I'm mixed?
exactly. You know,
People say I'm not black because I got both parents.
But no, it's true.
God.
You know, if you go back in my family, I'm light skinned, but my brothers are both medium brown. And, you know, I get the question if I'm really black. My dad's got the question if he was black his whole life. Both my grandmas are light skinned. It's like, why can't we just be light skinned? Now, is there my family we mixed? Yeah, but guess what? Through life, I went through life a black man. I'm black. Exactly. I have more black in me than anything else. So the core of this thing was Naomi decided that she was going to drop her U.S. citizenship in order to play for Japan in the Olympics in 2020. And
do you think she did that out of spite?
No, she grew up in Japan. The U.S. was her life. It's where she mainly grew up. But when you also look at sports like this, Serena has been our tennis champion for Olympics for a long time. Naomi understands her best choice, her best odds to make the Olympics, go and compete and win is playing for Japan, because Japan doesn't have that type of presence.
Yeah.
In that
that's why I love the move, you know, representing Japan. You know, the U.S. can't have all the good players in every sport. You know, it's even out the playing field at least a little bit. So I'm really glad that she decided to go with the Japan team. You know, because she's loyal to her soil like that. You know, she can go back and be inspiring to all these other kids that grow up and want to be, all them kids that want to be Serena Williams or Venus Williams over in Japan. Have her come back and like, no, I'm part of you guys too. And then they're like, oh, well, let's just go with Naomi then. So that's why I really love that she did that.
I mean,
I wanted to be just like Yao Ming when I grew up.
Wow. Well, also, look at the competition in U.S. Serena and Venus always go to the Olympics for us. Always play doubles, always play singles. So for Naomi to participate in the Olympics, she has to beat Serena and Venus in some competition. And can she do it? Yeah. She could beat them in singles, but doubles, Serena and Venus are like on a god level in doubles.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, exactly. So if she wants to play singles, why am I going to compete against a closed field where I can go to the open field and stand out? I'm going to bring my mother's home country a medal in this event.
Let's also give a huge shout out and congratulations just to females in sports. You know, like competition breeds competition, and it's like these women are trying to be the best in their craft. You know, shout out to Naomi, shout out to Serena Williams. You know, she's been the GOAT for a long time, and if Naomi comes in there and gives her what for, I mean, I'm all for it, man. You know, just as long as it's a fair contest and the best person wins at the end of it all. You know?
Have you seen Serena's physique? It's not a fair contest.
It's not a fair contest. I remember I
hear built like Tarzan.
I asked somebody how much it would cost to let Serena slap you, like backhand you.
That shit would hurt.
You know how much would be between that shit? You will wake up in the hospital, broken jaw and all. Like, God, what happened to the right side of my face? She slapped the shit out of you. That's what happened. But no, I've been watching track and field because, you know, I'm amping myself up, you know, getting ready to see who I'm going to place bets on. And they've been doing a mixed 4x4. And I can honestly say some of those women that were running outshine the men that are running.
Well, didn't a female just beat Usain Bolt's record for was it the 40?
I thought it was I don't know.
She's a female just beat one of his records in something. And I'm going to be real honest, I didn't even know that was possible because like I always like see the standards of running between men and women. It's like men typically are faster than women.
Only by like 5 seconds.
But shit, if a woman out there kicking it to like that, shit, and it's a black woman,
well, thing it's 5 seconds time difference between men and women usually. Just
not me though, but whatever.
You know how easy it is to cut that difference of 5 seconds?
Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Push it.
Yeah, it's like
push it to the limit.
And do you know what the best part is? Over time, women are better distance runners than men because their bodies are designed to hold that speed.
I was gonna say, is it the hip thing? Because like that's what like is usually the determining difference in like different exercises. The hip thing.
I don't know.
Be very, very careful. Don't get us canceled.
I don't know. I'm not into kinesiology or anything like that, but I know that I had to do it for class, and I read up on it and saw videos that women usually plateau with their distance running at an earlier point and can either stay or go up. But men, we peak and our plateau is short before we just start downfalling. Which a 44-year-old, forgot his name, ran a sub 2-hour marathon.
God damn.
1 hour, 59 minutes, and 40 seconds.
I'm not even trying to run 10 minutes, let alone 2 hours. Fuck.
Previous record was 2 hours and 1 minute. 26 miles in under 2 hours. I could have run for 5 minutes without stopping, talking about, all right, y'all young folk got this shit.
In 30 seconds, I'd be like, all right, I'm good. Y'all got it.
No, at the line, I'd be like, so I can't see the end?
I can't see that.
We're going to the other county?
Cool.
Yo, I'll take a taxi or something.
Back when I could run like 14 minutes and below for my 2 mile. The only reason why I ran that fast nonstop was because my team leader was behind me the whole time. I swear to God, I'm gonna beat your ass.
You never saw me when I was fast, huh, Sam?
Yeah, I saw you little. I remember that you were able to keep up with me in a sprint once.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like,
getting fat.
Yeah, now you fat.
Bro, I was the second fastest boy in the company. Boy, better ask about me.
That don't mean shit.
But moving on from there, and other news related to sports and a little bit related to music, Cardi B says that she wants to name her next album after Tiger Woods. That's awesome. Cardi B is also saying that she does not want to drop any more music for the rest of this year. What do you guys feel about that? Are you guys Cardi B fans at all?
Well, one thing, I like that smooth little transition you try to do right there. That was pretty nice.
You're not working. You're not ashamed. Something not working out. You know what I'm saying?
You fucked up Naomi, but you brought it back with Cardi. I like that. But no, yeah, am I a Cardi fan? Somewhat. I think she can rock it sometimes. But the Tiger Woods thing, I think is going to be about Offset cheating or what she's going to do to Offset if he cheats.
Man, he was reading my notes, man. Dang it.
Man, she ain't gonna do shit if Offset cheat on her again. You saw the diamond that boy just brought her?
It don't even matter. Remember
that thing's.
He has to. That's literally the nigga code for I cheated on my wife. I'm gonna buy you a bigger ring.
He bought her a Titanic diamond, bro. That ring is like I don't even have imagine like a real rock that you could like skip in the water, right? That's how big that diamond was.
Well, think of it this way: this is the only thing he do right now to keep his ass out of a hearse.
Facts.
Me and my dad were talking about it. I was like, I think she might hurt him.
She might cut him a little bit.
You know, just something. I don't know.
She gonna be like that dude in Freaknik. I could cut his nuts off.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Nah, that's like Korean shit right there. But anyways, I think I might give it a little listen. I think this shit might be fire. I'm not one of those dudes that be like, oh man, it's a female artist. I can't listen to that shit. Nah, fuck that shit. They go ham.
Oh, that's
I might not.
That's
I can't relate. But goddamn, does that shit go hard?
Shit, she talking about popping her coochie. I'm in there shaking my ass.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed her last album a lot more than I thought I would when I first heard Bodak Yellow, and I was just like, all right, this is another random trap girl talking about the same old things. But
enough for best rap album though.
No, that's definitely you can definitely tell they gave her that. They're like we're tired of giving it to Nicki. Let's give it to somebody else this year. But it wasn't that good. But I definitely enjoyed it. I actually enjoy her snaps and like her funny videos she puts on YouTube a lot. Like I like Cardi B as the person.
Well, I like when she had
Cardi B as the artist.
I like when she called out Offset for all them boxes of cereal his ass had.
What the fuck?
Yo, I remember one where they had like canceled her. I want to say it was Instagram. I can't remember what they cut it off, and then she was talking. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please give it back. She was pretending like she was crying, and then she just immediately went and said, "You know what? Screw y'all." I
think it's because she's real. So it's like, I feel like when she says something, it's coming off like a real person. Like, this is it. This is what you're going to get. If you don't like it, shut the fuck up. Go buy some other shit. But I think
definitely.
I think this album is going to be
unapologetically herself.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this album is going to be like, has going to have some shit talking about Offset in there.
Yeah, that was my idea, that she's either going to be talking about Offset or she's going to talk about how Tiger Woods, when he came in, he revolutionized the game of golf. You know, he brought a whole community of people that didn't even know what golf was. Ooh. And they were like, including me, and they were like, oh, look, what is this weird stick and this weird looking ball? But this really happy black guy running around. What is this? And I feel like she might be trying to do that with maybe the way she's going to move in the game.
Are they about to lynch a kid on live television?
Oh, man. No, I never had that thought because I knew he was half Chinese. But
oh, man.
See how I threw that? See how I threw that back?
Nah,
oh man.
But no, I'm feeling like maybe she's going to try to revolutionize the game somehow in her own fashion, in her own way. Maybe Tiger Woods is the inspiration behind that. Maybe she's going to take the model from that. But now that I think about it, yeah, she probably was talking about Offset.
Yeah, let's be real. There's two things Tiger Woods known for: golf and his ex-wife beating his ass while he's running away in the BMW because he cheated
14 times.
14 times.
He was out there getting wild with the girls.
And talk about I have a problem. You do. You have a big
You
problem.
do have a... Yeah, you got 14 women waiting on you. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But real quick, while we're on the subject of Cardi B, she has a new show out on Netflix with Chance the Rapper and T.I. called Rhythm and Flow. It's kind of like American Idol for rappers specifically. The first 4 episodes are kind of like trying to grab artists from different areas and locations: LA, Chicago, Atlanta, and New York. Obviously, those are kind of like the central hubs for like music, really. I mean, somebody might be able to make a claim and say like Houston is up there, you know, and like that's the only other place I can think of right off the top of my head. Or maybe somewhere in Florida too, obviously, you know. But those are the other 2 places besides, you know, Chicago, New York, LA, and Atlanta that go off immediately when you say like, where are you guys going to get your best artists from? But anyways, they're the judges. They have guest judges, Twista, Royce da 5'9", Snoop Dogg, Quavo, Big Boy, Fat Joe, Jadakiss, you know, a bunch of guest judges. And then like, so the first little couple episodes went off forever without a hitch. Looks pretty cool. You got to see, get introduced to a bunch of like, you know, people who have a small careers or kind of like brand new to the game. They kind of give their opinions. I totally thought that, you know, Chance the Rapper was going to be way too nice, but you know, he was telling people no. He was giving them some no's, and I was like, oh, okay, you got the balls to do this. And Chance, all right, you're not just a nice guy that everybody thinks you are, you know. But they keep it real, and you know, they give some constructive criticisms, and you know, they're moving on into a competition. There's going to be a whole bunch more guest artists. You guys check it out. It's kind of interesting and it's appealing, obviously, because it's rap, and I'm a huge rap fan. I think we all are rap fans.
Anybody I know on there, like personally?
As far as like in the competition, you mean? No, it's like the only reason why I said it's like people who have like small careers is because it's like people known in those areas. So like one of the people they said like Chance and Royce and all them, they seemed excited to see this girl named Sasha something. Sasha's fierce or Sasha's something. I forget. I don't know. She's, but it's oh yeah, that's the Beyonce. It was her name was Sasha something though. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But apparently she's like a local Chicago rapper, and she's like big out there. But obviously, you know, and some of the other artists, you know, they have careers already. They've been doing it for a while, but this is just kind of like their first big break to hopefully to potentially like boost their career global or nationally, if not also globally, because supposedly the winner is going to be like featured and do a live set on Rap Caviar, the Spotify playlist. So I mean, that's obviously big news for like anybody in like the music game at all.
Oh, you, Daniel, and Hendo should go on there.
Well, first of all, I can't rap. Hendo could rap. I would like to see him on there, and Daniel can definitely rap too. I'd like to see the both of them on there. But I mean,
man,
he'd have to go to LA for that. He'd have to definitely go to LA for that. But so I mean, that's kind of like the end of the Cardi B stuff. Transitioning now into music.
I mean, we've been in music.
Well, I mean, yeah, technically, yeah, you're right. You're like kind of transitioning like sports to music.
1 for 2 for transitions today.
Wow. I'm okay. All right.
Like anyway, Zion at the free throw line right now. Come on, man.
Looking like Jack. Dwight Howard.
Shaq.
Wow. Anyway, okay. Obviously, I'm sure we've all heard the new Travis Scott discussion that's going on. First and foremost, he dropped a new single called "Highest in the Room." It's all right.
No, it's not.
It's apparently the biggest debut for a song in US Spotify history. I think it had like 3 point it was a big number, and it's, you know, he has a record now on Spotify in the US at least. And along with that album, or along with that single, his relationship news is also put out there. Apparently, him and Kylie got the big split going on. And, you know, there's rumors and allegations claiming that he was cheating on her. Then there's rumors and allegations that she went to a studio with Tyga and that she's been seen with him like more than once in the area or something.
That's the one I believe.
And then Tyga says that it's a cap, you know, and then he said he put a cap, and then he said that media is cap. And then he had a picture next to what was it, a Lambo or something? And he had the fucking Travis Scott Nikes on which is like, what?
I got it.
What you doing, player?
I figured it out. I got it.
What?
Remember the pre-show we're talking about how the hell this reached? Because it sounds like a basic ass Travis Scott song. Like he just pushed it out. Like this is just what I do. So it sounds like every other song he's made. Maybe people wanted to hear a Tiger diss, or maybe they were expecting to hear about him and Kylie.
I feel like he talks about her, but like not in like a negative way.
Yeah,
though.
people
like,
wanted to hear it, like some scoops.
If it was gonna be if it was gonna be like a diss or something.
Yeah, because that'd
have been interesting.
Otherwise, it sounds like he just like walked into the studio. It's like, hey, pull some lyrics that I've had from the last 5-6 years. I'm just gonna put some shit together real quick for you.
It seems like exactly what he did.
Some basic Travis.
He got in there like, yeah, stop trying to be. Oh wait, I did that already. Hold on, let me find another one.
What's the other one I had in the cut? I forget. But since we're talking about good music artists, let's also talk about Kanye real quick in this little time frame that we got left. Kanye says that his album Jesus is King is slated to release October 25th, along with his, get this, IMAX movie. There's no guarantees with Kanye at this point, obviously. I mean, more than a year ago already, he was supposed to release Yandi. That never came out. I mean, a year passed, still never came out. And then he was talking about releasing another album, because he's got this whole Sunday service thing going on. And we'll see if the album drops. I doubt it, though, because Kanye ain't been dropping nothing for whatever reason. That's all I got on that, though.
Can we not talk about Kanye no more?
You know what? I mean, it's kind of hard not to, and the guy's constantly doing some.
Just don't give him the press he don't deserve. Like we know this album ain't gonna drop.
We gotta give the press give him the press he deserves, so that when the album comes out, we can be the first ones to talk shit about it.
The devil speaks the loudest, and he is speaking really loud right now.
Moving on from Kanye to an artist that he has worked with, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Hopefully this might be the last little bit of information we might get about him before he's actually released.
No, they're gonna keep milking that shit. Keep milking Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So first of all, prosecutors requested early sentencing for Snitch 9. If it's approved, and he has the potential to be released as early as next month, if approved. He's also apparently signed a deal from jail or from prison with a record label called 10K Projects, which is also the label he was on, I guess, already for the previous projects he's dropped. A $10 million deal for the release of 2 albums, one in English and one in Spanish. I don't know how many other guys have signed record deals in jail, but $10 million sounds like a lot of money for a nigga that might not make it past next week if he gets out.
I'm just, like I said, if I'm through with music. Fuck country, fuck R&B, fuck all that shit. What? Fuck anybody who's gonna work with this nigga. Fuck the U.S. justice system.
Oh man, it'd be wild.
I'm thoroughly disgusted. Like,
$10 million for somebody who's ratting on people? You know how badly that affects your career? Like, you go to other places and you have to do stuff with other artists, they're not going to want to do stuff with you. It's going to be such like an irritating time because like it's going to be cut and dry robot shit.
It doesn't.
Hey, do you want to be on this album? You know what? You're a popping artist. I'm going to send you the link. I don't want to be in no video with you. I don't want to be in the same room as you. I don't want to do nothing around you because you might try to tell on me and get me locked up. Fuck all that.
I said it before that I didn't think any artist was going to work with him. I retract that statement because this week I've been thinking, when they were talking about, I forgot what question they asked Young Thug, and his answer was, I'm not here to speak on some political statement. And he's like, I'm not here to speak on that. We just out here to have a good time and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? There are artists out there right now that don't care about that shit. And they're probably going to write a banger and have him on the track. And I'm going to be listening to Sirius XM or local radio and hear that shit. And I'm just going to be like, none of these niggas are real. There's no one that's real anymore. They're all fake.
Everybody been fake. Let's get that out the window now. But $10 million, like for somebody that can't even go on tour, like that's usually how labels like re-up their advance money on it. You go on tour and they get a big percentage of that money. And he can't show his face like anywhere, I would think, and without somebody putting some money on his head. But the only thing I could see positively coming out of here is if he does that Spanish album, because the Spanish rap game is taking over the world, in the last couple of years. And so I could definitely see him going, across the world and touring in all these different countries and all that with a Spanish album. Or he could tour the country. He could tour Germany. Like I saw, what's her name? Danielle Bergoli, Bad Baby. She's been touring for like the last year and a half straight. She's been in Germany and all over there. It's just like you don't even hear about her anymore in America. So I feel like that's what he'd have to do with his with any of his albums. He'd have to go tour the world and not necessarily America.
You know, he's not gonna do that. He's gonna tour America because, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna put it out there. There's a certain groups of Americans that aren't gonna care if he's snitched or not. Their skin tone's a couple tones lighter than mine. It's played to the market. Lil Wayne's music, he said it before, and other artists have said it before. Most of the people who are buying music aren't black. Most of the people that buy your tickets aren't black.
Yeah.
So you don't have to appeal to black people. 6ix9ine's not black. You just gotta appeal to the people that are gonna buy your stuff.
Facts.
So if there's a group that buys his music and they look at the numbers and say, oh, this group is white, Hispanic, Asian, or whatever, all you have to do is appeal to the music that they're buying. People wonder why, you know, some rap music isn't as pure or as hard as it used to be, because nobody wants to hear hard bangers. They want to hear party music. They want to hear club music. So appeal to them. It's not gonna.
It's like all those people. It's like all those people that are on these lists now. These like top 50 rappers of Atlanta and LA and all that shit. You got so many young guys who have like barely any catalog. Their lyricism is trash. They're not good artists at all, but they're on these lists. And you know, it's so crazy to see that, just because you got guys like the top 50 Atlanta list. I remember it was so crazy seeing Future's name right above Big Boy's name. Big Boy, a member of Outkast, a great lyricist, a talented artist, was below Future.
It's because the more mainstream something becomes, the more everybody else picks up on it. I mean, 6ix9ine said it himself.
Tell the audience what you noticed about that list too, Daniel, real quick.
Oh yeah, well, because Sam was actually about to lead into it about the point I was going to make. Do you remember who was on that list, Sam?
No.
If you look at that list, anybody listening right now, pull out your phone, look at the top 50 Atlanta list, and look at everybody from 1 all the way through 50. The list is trash. Let me tell you why. Out of 50 people, out of an Atlanta artist list, Atlanta rappers list, however the criteria is for the list, Childish Gambino was not on that list, fam.
Garbage.
I don't know how you make an Atlanta list and not put Childish Gambino in the top 10.
Is it Ranker? Is it their list?
I forget who exactly made it. I mean, I just Googled it and I put it up.
I thought it was T.I. and like a group of people or something like that. Because T.I. was like number 11. He didn't put himself like in the top 10 or something like that, they were saying.
Yeah, that might have been the story behind it. That might have been T.I. on there. But they had people like Fabo from
D4L. When's the last time you heard something from him?
From that level, he was on the list. What? And Childish Gambino wasn't on that list. So I was like, whoever made that list need to be slapped backwards, forwards, up and down, all the way.
Just like the top 50 rappers in the L.A., they got Frank Ocean on that list.
Wow.
He's not from LA, truly. He's from.
He damn sure ain't a rapper.
You know, he dabble every now and then, you know, but he's not really a rapper, no. But rappers from ATL, yeah, Gambino should be on there. I feel like he's a really strong rapper.
It's just crazy that these lists are coming out, and I really feel like they need to stop. And I mean, even one of the last lists that I've just recently saw was like the best anime of all time list.
Don't bring that up.
And you had you got Dragon Ball Z up there. You got Demon Slayer up there. You got it was a bracket. It was a bracket tournament. It wasn't a list per se, but it was. I think it was like the top 16, and then it made it into a tournament.
Who beat Dragon?
Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan,
no Yu,
fucking Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Naruto. There's a lot of famous shows. Some that were like OG classics. I think Bleach was on there, Berserk was on there, Code Geass was on there.
Gundam?
So you got a lot of classics. and a lot of new stuff that's like being shown right now, like Black Clover, stuff like that. The winner of the whole entire thing was Demon Slayer, whose manga isn't finished, whose anime hasn't even got to the good parts of the series evidently yet, and it beat out Dragon Ball Z, like I just said. Bleach, a completed manga. Dragon Ball Z, let's just say for Dragon Ball Z at least, completed manga, completed series. Fucking Hunter x Hunter, probably one of the greatest things ever made. Full Metal Alchemist, might quite possibly the pinnacle of greatest series ever made.
Which one did you say?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, Brotherhood.
Yeah. Just so many series out there that are substantially better. And I'm like, y'all are fucking with this because of one scene in this show that brought, or two, I guess, when the little dude was sleeping and then he got all badass, and then when the old boy saves his sister from that girl with the strings or whatever. This is 2 fights this whole show, and you got the history of all these shows against this.
I have never seen an episode of Demon Slayer.
Bro, the show is all right, but it ain't all that. Not to be saying it's better than One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, Code Geass, Berserk, Full Metal Alchemist, like, come on, fam. Like,
whenever people talk about anime, they put them on and shit like that, and like classics and everything. Cowboy Bebop,
that's
not going over, not anywhere on that list, right? If I remember, Trigun, like I've been screaming out, not on the list.
Not on that list. Nope.
You have Yu Yu Hakusho,
Also not on the list. Hunter x Hunter, but not Yu.
Yeah.
Did My Hero make it?
My Hero was on there. It lost in the second round, I want to say. My Hero beat... Who did My Hero beat?
I think My Hero went all the way on their like little fucked up list. I honestly want to
My Hero...
the person who made that damn list. I wish I could find it right now.
It's crazy. That list was wild. My Hero's on there. My Hero's one of my favorite shows right now. It might even be in my top 5 just because I love like the whole hero aspect of it all. But I'm not making it beat out just so easily. One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Come on, fam.
One Punch Man was on there or no?
No.
I don't think One Punch Man was on there.
I don't think so. Which is
the Promised Neverland was on there. Okay, that was the other one I was forgetting too. But just a crazy ass list for for the nerd culture to fucking sit back and just be like, all right, we allowed this to happen. But last little couple announcements for the nerd culture, real quick. 2 things. The first thing being my phone died and now I can't see nothing on my phone right now as far as the list. So can somebody tell me what the last 2 things on the nerd list was?
My Hero comes out today. So yeah, simulcast tonight. We should be able to watch it.
Yeah. Spoiler alert though, real quick. Not gonna say like what it's like the actual story stuff. Evidently, this is rumor. This is the rumor mill. First episode is a filler.
I mean, I kind of feel that. I would understand why they do it.
That's interesting though, just because I forget what con it was. If it was like a Funimation thing, or if it was like some other kind of con, not like a Comic Con, but a different one out in LA. I could have sworn they premiered the first episode and they were talking about how like surprised and like crazy the first episode was. Because I'm thinking about what happens in the manga right away, and I'm like, that is kind of crazy, especially for fans, and like how like crazy the show gets, or will get. I'm like, yeah, people are gonna be like, oh damn, that's wild. This show took a quick left turn or whatever. But if it's filler though, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I understand it
for sure. And then last but not least, we got Grand Theft Auto 6 apparently is in the works, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. All these years you've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and getting it re-released, PS3. Then PS4, then you got the remastered version, you got all these heists and updates. We're finally getting a Grand Theft Auto 6, and allegedly it's going to be taking place in Florida, folks. Your character's going to be shining and glistening because it's hot as fuck out there, and watch out for them gators.
Wow. Fuck Grand Theft Auto.
But I mean,
they be playing with my emotions too much.
Wow. What do you like better, Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto?
I'll take that back. I gotta explain this. I like Red Dead because old Western shit. I just like I used to want to be a history major. I used to major in military history. I love history, so I love playing like games that take you back. But Grand Theft Auto Online though, that's when the real game starts.
It's like Minecraft on crack.
I love just doing heist and being able to play, like holding up a damn gas station and yelling in a mic and they do shit, like it's Grand Theft Auto Online is really good multiplayer RPG, sure. But Red Dead's story is just better because it's more immersive
and it hits you home.
Yeah,
you really fall in love with those characters and kind of immerse yourself in that world, that old Western style, like you said. Yep. Start wanting to wear assless chaps and everything.
I mean, I ain't going that far. You do what you do around your house.
Oh my god!
If baby mama likes it, baby mama likes it, I guess.
Oh my god! Relax. All right. Looks like we're reaching our time limit, so we'll end this episode by just saying real quick. Be sure to catch us, on all our streaming platforms, guys. Spotify, YouTube. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Apple Podcasts. If you have any of those and you're subscribed to one and you can or you have the ability to subscribe to us on another platform, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and leave us comments on YouTube, leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts. That helps us, helps us give us feedback. Let us know what we could be doing better, what we can improve on, so that we can bring you guys a better show. You and the whole audience. Whether it's little technical stuff, maybe hardware stuff, or maybe even like topics or subject matter, whatever you guys might even want us to talk about, let us know. You can also visit our website, www.culturedbytheuncultured.com. On there, if you can definitely email us and send us messages and tell us like, hey, how about you guys talk about this or that? Which real soon, I'm definitely going to talk about my time in the military, just so you guys know, so you guys can get a little quick funny story out of that. Maybe have these guys talk about their time in the military too. You know, I don't know if y'all know this, but Daniel was in the CCC. I'll let him talk about that though. Anyway, you know, just be sure to like and follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's a big one. You know, CBTU or CBT Uncultured, excuse me. That's our Twitter, CBT Uncultured. Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz is Culture by the Uncultured, you know, like everything else. So yeah, fuck with us, you know, we'll fuck with you right back. And I think that's about it. You guys got any last words?
I'm gonna start shit posting on Facebook.
Nice. Yeah. The crowd will love
so
that.
I'm definitely gonna be sending memes and shit, but that's just for us. But yeah, go see.
What about you, Daniel?
A lot of people don't know this, but I was in the military too. It was Team Super Cool, Totally Awesome Alpha Wolf Squadron. I'm just kidding. I kid. I only say that I get a lot of joy out of watching those Stolen Valor videos. It's funny.
But I guess that about wraps up this episode, and we hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Catch us next time. Adios, piglets.